The Formula One movie just hit theaters like a rocket-powered missile, and I absolutely had to sprint to catch it on the biggest screen possible. We're talking about Brad Pitt behind the wheel of an impossibly fast machine, delivering what might be the most adrenaline-pumping racing experience ever captured on film. The question burning in everyone's mind is whether this high-octane spectacle actually delivers the goods, or if it's just another expensive piece of marketing disguised as entertainment. Well, buckle up, because I'm about to give you my completely honest, spoiler-free breakdown of whether this movie is worth your time and money. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty details, let me set the stage for why this film had me so hyped from the moment I saw the first trailer. There's something absolutely magnetic about high-speed cinema, especially when it involves the pinnacle of motorsport technology. Formula One represents the absolute cutting edge of automotive engineering, where every millisecond matters, and the difference between victory and defeat can come down to the smallest aerodynamic adjustment. The sport itself is a perfect blend of human skill, technological innovation, and pure competitive spirit that creates natural drama you simply can't manufacture in a writer's room. What immediately caught my attention was learning that this Formula One movie comes from the same director who gave us Top Gun Maverick, and that connection isn't just a coincidence. From the opening sequence, you can feel that same energy, that same commitment to putting audiences directly into the action rather than just showing it from a safe distance. The similarities are definitely there, and I'm not talking about this as a criticism at all. When you have a protagonist who's considered too old for the game, paired with young talent who doesn't respect the veteran's experience, you're looking at a proven formula that works because it taps into universal themes about legacy, mentorship, and proving yourself when everyone else has written you off. The story follows Brad Pitt as a former Formula One legend who dominated the sport in the 1990s until a catastrophic crash ended his career. Fast forward 30 years, and he's become something of a racing nomad, competing in smaller circuits that most people consider beneath serious attention. When an old friend calls him back to Formula One to help save a struggling team that's desperately fighting for survival, it becomes the ultimate high-stakes gamble. You're not just talking about one person's comeback story, you're talking about an entire team's future hanging in the balance, with millions of dollars and countless careers, depending on whether this aging driver can still perform at the highest level of motorsport. The opening sequence hits you like a direct injection of pure adrenaline, and the movie never lets up from that moment forward. The racing scenes are so incredibly immersive that you genuinely feel like you're strapped into the cockpit alongside Brad Pitt, experiencing every turn, every acceleration, and every heart-stopping moment of competition. The sound design deserves special recognition because you don't just hear the engines, you feel them vibrating through your entire body. When I watched this in IMAX, the experience was so intense that everyone in the theater was holding their breath during the crash sequences. These aren't just pretty pictures of fast cars, these are meticulously crafted action sequences that use impossible camera angles to put you right in the middle of the action. Every curve feels dangerous, every overtaking maneuver feels like a life-or-death decision, and when accidents happen, the impact is absolutely devastating in the best possible way. The debris flying through the air, the tension building before each risky move, the way the camera captures the physics of these incredible machines, it all combines to create something that feels more real than reality itself. If you're enjoying this deep dive into why Formula One might be the racing movie we've all been waiting for, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments which country or region you're watching from. I love seeing how our community of speed enthusiasts and movie lovers spans the globe, and your engagement really helps the channel grow. What elevates this movie beyond just spectacular racing footage is how it takes you behind the scenes of Formula One in ways that feel both educational and entertaining. You get to see the engineering brilliance that goes into these cars, the split-second strategic decisions that can make or break an entire race, and the business pressures that drive every aspect of this incredibly expensive sport. The movie does an excellent job of explaining the complexities of Formula One racing in a way that newcomers can understand while still offering enough technical detail to satisfy serious motorsport fans. One detail that absolutely warmed my heart was the inclusion of real Formula One drivers making cameo appearances throughout the film. This isn't just celebrity stunt casting, it's a way of grounding the fictional story in the real world of professional racing. The authenticity these appearances bring to the movie cannot be overstated, and it shows a level of respect for the sport that could have easily been overlooked in favor of pure Hollywood spectacle. Perhaps most exciting for racing fans, the movie pays tribute to some of the greatest legends in Formula One history, including Ayrton Senna. Hearing Senna mentioned alongside other icons like Michael Schumacher as one of the all-time greats shows that this film understands and respects the rich history of the sport. These aren't just throwaway references, they're acknowledgements of the legacy that current drivers are trying to live up to every time they get behind the wheel. The soundtrack deserves its own paragraph because it perfectly complements the visual spectacle with pure rock and roll energy that never lets up. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I highly recommend checking out the soundtrack on its own because it captures the spirit of high-speed competition in ways that will get your blood pumping even when you're sitting still. Every musical choice feels deliberate and perfectly matched to the on-screen action. Visually, this movie is absolutely stunning from start to finish. Every circuit, every car, every technical detail has been crafted with such attention to accuracy that you completely believe you're watching a real Formula One season unfold. The cinematography captures both the beauty and the danger of these incredible machines, showing you details that you'd never notice during an actual race broadcast while maintaining the sense of speed and danger that makes motorsport so compelling. At the heart of everything is Brad Pitt's performance as the veteran driver fighting for one more chance at greatness. His character is exactly the kind of underdog that audiences naturally root for. Someone who's been written off by the establishment but still has the skill and determination to prove everyone wrong. There's a perfect balance of confidence and vulnerability in his portrayal, showing a man who knows exactly what he's capable of, but doesn't feel the need to constantly prove it to skeptics. The dynamic between the veteran and his young teammate creates some of the most compelling drama in the film. You have that classic generational conflict where experience clashes with raw talent, where old-school methods meet cutting-edge technology, and where mutual respect has to be earned rather than given. The relationship evolves throughout the movie in ways that feel genuine rather than forced, showing how competition can bring out both the best and worst in people, while ultimately pushing everyone to achieve more than they thought possible. The dramatic elements never overwhelm the racing action, but they provide just enough emotional weight to make you genuinely care about the outcome of each race. This isn't melodrama for the sake of melodrama, it's character development that makes the action sequences more meaningful. When someone's entire future is riding on a single race, every turn becomes more significant, every strategic decision carries more weight, and every potential crash becomes genuinely terrifying. Some critics have suggested that the movie feels like an extended commercial for Formula One, and while I understand that perspective, I think it misses the point entirely. Yes, this movie will absolutely make you want to watch more real Formula One racing, but that's because it does such an excellent job of showing why the sport is so compelling in the first place. The technology, the strategy, the human drama, the international competition, all of these elements make Formula One fascinating, even if you've never paid attention to motorsport before. The storytelling follows a fairly predictable sports movie template, but execution matters more than originality when you're dealing with proven formulas. You might be able to guess the general direction of the plot, but the journey is so expertly crafted and so thrilling to experience that predictability becomes irrelevant. Sometimes, the most satisfying stories are the ones that give you exactly what you're hoping for, just executed at a level that exceeds your expectations. What really impressed me was how the movie balances fantastical elements with realistic technical details. These cars and the technology behind them are so advanced that they almost seem like science fiction, but everything you see on screen is grounded in real engineering principles and actual racing physics. It's like watching a perfectly choreographed dance between human skill and mechanical precision, where the slightest mistake can have catastrophic consequences. The movie currently holds an 89% critic score and a 98% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, with an equally impressive rating on IMDb. These numbers reflect what audiences are experiencing in theaters, which is pure adrenaline-fueled entertainment that respects both its source material and its audience's intelligence. This isn't just mindless action, it's smart action that understands what makes great racing drama work. For anyone who's already a Formula One fan, this movie is going to feel like a love letter to everything you already appreciate about the sport. For newcomers, it's going to serve as the perfect introduction to why millions of people around the world are absolutely obsessed with watching incredibly skilled drivers push impossibly advanced machines to their absolute limits. The movie succeeds because it never talks down to its audience while still making complex technical concepts accessible to everyone. My personal rating for this film is a solid 9.5 out of 10, and that's not grade inflation talking. This is exactly the kind of high-octane entertainment that reminds you why movies theaters exist in the first place. The combination of spectacular practical effects, outstanding sound design, compelling characters, and genuine respect for the sport creates something that's both thrilling and emotionally satisfying. Whether you're a long-time motorsport enthusiast or someone who's never paid attention to racing, this Formula One movie delivers the kind of cinema experience that makes you remember why you fell in love with movies in the first place. It's testosterone-fueled entertainment in the best possible way, combining cutting-edge filmmaking technology with old-fashioned storytelling craftsmanship to create something that feels both contemporary and timeless. So what did you think of the Formula One movie if you've already seen it? Are you planning to check it out based on what you've heard, or are you still on the fence about whether it's worth your time? I genuinely want to know whether this movie has you as excited about Formula One racing as it has me, so drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's keep this conversation rolling. The checkered flag might mark the end of a race, but our discussion about great racing cinema is just getting started.